Hi, I'm Ira Mont. Welcome to the Wyckoff Bennett Mont homestead in Brooklyn, New York. Built prior to 1766 by the Wyckoff family. It was a 100-acre farm here in Brooklyn. In 1835, the Wyckoffs sold the house and the farm to the Bennett family. In 1983, the widower of the last Bennett sold the house to my parents, Stuart and Annette Mont. That makes the Mont family only the third family to ever own and live in the home in almost 260 years. When the city gridded out the streets in the late 1800s and early 1900s, eminent domain prevailed, and it was move it or lose it. This house was situated not this way, but this way, looking out onto the 100-acre farm. The kitchen was in the middle of East 22nd Street. The house was lifted, rotated, and set in its current position on a newly built basement and foundation. The 100-acre farm was slowly sold off with a half an acre of property remaining, the farmhouse and a barn still situated on it. Wandering around the half acre, you sometimes feel like you've stepped into another world with its trees, ivy lawn, and grapevines. It really is like having your own private park. As you approach the house, walking up the center path, you are struck with the typical Dutch-Colonial front porch. The main front door of the house is the original Dutch door, as are all the shutters on the house. During Revolutionary times, you were taxed on the number of windows you had in your house. You might notice in the Dutch door the bullseye glass. Those bullseye windows allowed for sunlight in the main hall without incurring a tax. Walking into the main entry hall sets the tone for the rest of the house. A lovely cabinet holds many first editions and lots of old study books. Also in the main hall are 4 portraits. 2 are of the Ryders, who were in-laws to the Bennett family. The other 2 are of Cornelius Bennett and his wife, the Bennetts that actually bought the house from the Wyckoff family in 1835. Off the main entry hall are 2 parlors, which we call the formal parlor and the informal parlor. Each parlor is a double parlor, one with a fireplace and one without. The family would take coals from the fire into the parlor without the fireplace, which was their sleeping quarters, and warm themselves with those coals. And we have one of those coal warmers still in the house. The tiles around the fireplace are all from the time of the building of the house. The corner tiles are actually original to when the fireplace was built. The fireplace in the formal parlor even has built-ins for those traditional Dutch pipes. The 4 parlors and the center entrance hall make for a wonderful space, room to live, work, and a great place to entertain. The first battle of the Revolutionary War was the Battle of Brooklyn, and at the end of the battle, Hessian soldiers who were fighting on the side of the British pounded on the door and demanded to be put up for the night with their servants. While they were here, they scratched their names into 2 panes of glass. As you leave the informal parlor, you enter the kitchen hallway, where the panes of glass with the graffiti from the Hessian soldiers are on display. One of those soldiers was M. Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach's great-nephew. Also on display in the hallway is a proclamation from the king, which asked you to turn in neighbors who were against the crown for a reward of 300 pounds. The kitchen combines modern convenience and historical charm. Originally, the kitchen had an attic space above it, very traditional for Dutch colonial houses. We didn't need that kind of storage space, so my father opened it up, creating a cathedral ceiling. And he fashioned the kitchen counter out of some of those planks. All around you can see the original details, like the underside of the shingles on the roof, the beams, and the brickwork for the fireplace. My parents were always lovers of old homes and antiques, but the thing that convinced them to buy this house was a quote from Gertrude Bennett's book, Living in a Landmark. I often wonder about the future of our house and pray that those after us will love it as we do and respect it for its own personality. That's also my hope for the new owners of the Wyckoff Bennett Mont homestead. I hope you've enjoyed taking this tour with me.
Thanks for watching. Like what you see on the show? Well, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We have so many more beautiful homes to share. It's all about love. Share these homes, you know?